The sun rose over Moytura. The grass was as red as the sky. They named it Plain of Pillars, for the tombs of all who died. Race revealed his secret knowledge of crops, the price of peace. In exchange for stolen cattle returned, the exile was released. Ogma found the Orna, ancient sword of Fomori kings, heard its song, and so taught his folk how to recount great things. Nuada's old bard saw the king's resting place, fresh and green. He closed his eyes and saw it, and he never woke from that dream. Lu, Dagda, and Ogma faced Bres and his king once again, hunting Dagda's stolen harp, whose song brought sun and rain. Dagda played, made them laugh and weep and sleep with his skill. In that cold cave the last Fomor may yet be sleeping still. Morrigan promised warmth in winter, fruitfulness in the frost. She foretold the end of things, when love and loyalty would be lost. Then she rejoined the ancient Fae and faded into the sky. But every Samhain to this day we feel her watchful eye. Lu's foster mother died, and in her honour he proclaimed that on that day each year would be a gathering for games. His mother wed Nuada's son, and of their line, I'm told, came Finn of the Fianna and blessed Bran the bold. Lu wandered to the centre of Erin, where a sacred flame was lit by sons of Nemed, and he was never seen again. Dagda took the throne, but Danu's folk had had their day, and not long after, even Dagda's own king went away. Angus, his son by Buana, whose soul dwells in the Boyne, loved the swan princess, would not rest till they were joined. She dwelt on Dragon's Lake, where mortals could not be received, except on one night of the year, and so on Samhain Eve he saw her when the misty veil parted, and he cried, I am Angus, skilled in the arts of love. I long to be by your side. On white wings they flew together, and forever left the land. But the Fae had one more part to play in the affairs of man. Dagda the great, Goban the skilful, their fate is a mystery, but Lu the Longhand's name is whispered down through history. He watched over Cahulan as he fought for Cooley's cattle. He heard the call of the Lear Fal, for Con of the 100 battles, the blessed stone that called out only for a rightful king, and so Lu gave the hand of she who guards the throne to him. From that day on, the bards and druids of Con searched the skies, knowing the Tuatha de Danaan looked down with watchful eyes. Another pair of eyes looked to the land from Iberian shores. The Gael, they say, rose from the ashes of the Trojan War. The sons of Mil, chief clan of the Gael, sailed for the Isle of Green, for Eith, the eldest son of Mil, had seen it in a dream. With Lugay his son and his band of 90 men they sailed, and to his joy they gave him greeting in the tongue of the Gael. The locals took him to the nobles, where judgment was decided. He heard them judging how the wealth of kings would be divided. 3 brothers, grandsons of the Dagda, jointly ruled the land. Each in turn, for a year and a day, held the high kingship in his hand. But how could wealth and weapons be divided by the brothers? This land, said Eith, is blessed with peace and plenty above others. Surely not one of you is so afraid to fail and fall, if by success or sacrifice you serve the good of all? The judges raged. Not only did he want the land himself, but also mocked and shamed them for their wisdom and their wealth. They cast him out. He fought them off, and of his wounds he died. His every clansman gathered to avenge their wounded pride. A tribe of warrior poets, led by Lugay his firstborn, set sail with the Gael of Brigantia at dawn. First the wife of their chief bard, Amergin White Knee, and then Erin, youngest of the clan, were lost at sea. But even though the she guarded the land with mist and storm, the coming of the Gael was as inevitable as the dawn. By magic the Fae kept the Gael away, would not let them land, but one river mouth was open, so they stepped onto the strand. Wise Amergin led the way, for bards were protected by law, and one by one the 3 queens of Erin met them on the shore. The wives of the King of Hazel, King of the Plough, and King of the Sun, that her name be on the land was the desire of each one. Each had the power to bless or curse, but Eru promised more, so Erin was the name of the land of the Gael evermore. The 3 kings ever quarrelled, but on this they all agreed. The Gael would go back beyond the 9th wave of the sea, and if they could find their way back and fight the wild weather, the lordship of the land would be in their hands forever. So they fought against the sea and the sorcery of the She, but the swells could not withstand the spells of Amergin White Knee. For he invoked the spirit realm of Erin's land itself, prophesying the sons of Meal would bring wisdom and wealth. So the Gael reached the land and claimed it for their own. Amergin's voice echoed through the hills of his new home. The wind in the waves of the sea, the sound of the sea on the land, the stag who looks to the sky, the hawk on the cliff where he stands, sunlight falling like teardrops, flowers fair to the eye, the boldest boar, the swimming salmon, in all these am I. I water plains, inspire artists, bring plunder to spears. I sing now through this bard, my song turns the wheel of the year. The Fae defeated themselves when they scattered the Gael host, for when their ships came into land they ran the length of the coast. The men of day put up no fight, their time was at an end. The age of man was dawning, it was time for wounds to mend. The Shining Ones retreated to the realms of hollow hills, but 3 queens stayed, and silently they watch over us still. The children's children of the sons of Meal would fill the land, and that was when the songs and stories of Erin really began.